Hello everyone and welcome to this week's reviews, and I have a special treat for you today. I'm going to give an early review of the latest installment in the X-Men franchise. Set in the near future with Wolverine more grizzled than ever as he travels with a young mutant and they have to find their place in the world. This is Logan. It's a fitting title for a film that takes away all the shininess and world destruction of the other X-Men films. A lot of this film is about simple character moments, and it's probably the best portrayal of Wolverine in the films. I'm not fond about this franchise focusing so much attention on Wolverine at the expense of the other more interesting mutants. However, I think he earns the top billing here. He's a lot more vulnerable this time around, and while there are action scenes where he slices and dices, he's not as agile as he used to be. His relationship with the young mutant Laura is nicely developed through the film as he becomes a father figure. He's reluctant throughout, which makes sense for this character, but we also see how she changes him, and the script does not go too overboard in how Wolverine develops. While it is his story, Laura is the star of the show, and newcomer Daphne Keane does a good job of conveying a lot through just her facial expressions. James Mangold's direction is restrained here at a lot of points, though he does not shy away from the violence during the action scenes. The R rating Logan received was definitely earned. The gore is slightly over the top, but there is a rawness there. The film does throw you in and there's a lot of catch-up required, but I managed to catch on how Wolverine got to this place in his life. The villains are not terribly interesting, which is a flaw I'm finding often with recent superhero films. The baddies here are about as generic as they come. The movie also runs a little too long, with a few slow patches here and there. Nonetheless, while not necessarily my favorite X-Men film, which is still first class, I admire Logan's different direction, and it succeeds at being its own thing. Next up is the fantasy monster movie about one of the most famous constructions of all time, The Great Wall. I will say this about The Great Wall: the production values are great, the costumes, the sets, and the monsters are all creatively realized. It's a film where you can definitely see the money on the screen. Shame about the script and acting. For a film with monsters scaling the Great Wall of China and entire armies fighting them, I found myself quite bored with this movie. The action sequences were repetitive, with computer-generated monsters charging and aiding at the various soldiers, although Matt Damon managed to come out unscathed. His character is almost indestructible in this film, that there's little reason to care about his ordeal. None of the characters I cared about. Damon is also making this strange accent that's supposed to be from somewhere. Many other characters merely exist to spout exposition or translate for Damon and his buddy. The only actor who comes out well in this is Tian Jing. I bought her as a general in this army, and she would be a good choice to play Mulan in Disney's upcoming live-action version. Otherwise, this film was stupid, but I wish it was fun stupid, like a Roger Corman B-movie. Instead, I just found it dull and lacking any sort of excitement. Thank you for watching this week's reviews, and I'll see you next time.